Okay, now with the lives counter set from the last video, I wanted to make it so that it would go to a game over screen. And there's two ways you can die. One is falling in this pit down here, and the other one is getting hit by the enemies. So what I did is I made a script, custom event called game over, and it checks the select player lives, the player lives variable, and it stops the music. It plays, different animation track, change the animation frame, and fades out and changes the scene. So these are all custom event scripts that start with an if variable compared with value event that checks the player life one. But what I found is, hitting a trigger for death to lose a life and hitting the enemy are two different things. So here I added game over on init at first, and it wouldn't, when I would fall in the pit and get to 0, it wouldn't change the scene. So I changed it to on player hit. So even though I have the player reduce lives event, I also added at the end of it, it checks for game over, which is when player lives are equal to 0 again. So that's right here. This game over custom one checks on player hit when I get hit by one of the enemies. When you get hit by the pit, I also needed to check the game over if it would send me there too. So I'm gonna try to show it to you working both ways, and then I'll turn one off and show it not working. Okay, so you see there's the 3 lives, and I can fall in the pit, lose a life that way, or I can just hit this guy and I'll lose a life. So that one did not work because it killed me immediately. Okay, I found a snafu. So it works okay. Sorry, this is an interruption of the video. It works okay if I fall in the pit and I lose a life. So you see I have two lives at the top now. If I hit this guy, there's no pause in the script, so I lost 2 lives in a row. So I need to make a pause in his ability to hit me. So it'll be like a 1-second pause. So I'm going to add that. All right, the next problem I was having is every time I was getting hit, I would get hit twice. So what I ended up doing is adding a script here that was talking about the player getting hit, on player hit, life loss. So I tried doing a wait event, wait, and then disable collisions, and that didn't work. So what I ended up doing is making an event called player life loss. 2 variables, life, like my player lives, and if I'm invincible. So when you get hit, there's a 1/2 second shake. The variable, if it's false, life invincible, which I think it defaults to false, is set to true. And then I put, if it's true, disable collisions. So while I'm invincible, the collisions are disabled. And then I set a timer countdown for 1 second, so I'm invincible for 1 second to get away. And after that, the variable life invincible is set to false, and if it's false, then player collisions are re-enabled. And then down here, I have another event called variable decrement by 1, and that's player lives. So without all this, every time I was getting hit, I guess I'm getting hit by both squares or something on the enemy, so I would lose 2 lives. So now I believe I've got it set so when I hit him, or this player, it just took away 1 life if you look up in the top. So right now I got 2. I'm going to hit this guy again, and it just took away 1 life. And you see I ran back through him, but it didn't take away 2. And then I've also got it so if I pick this up, I can get a life back. because this wasn't working before either. I hit him, and now it goes back down to 1, and I'm okay. So there you go. That's how to keep yourself from getting hit 100 times. And I just want to say thank you to Felipe and Aisha for their help.